They break open your house one time, they rape your mother, they rape your father, they rape your brother, they rape your sister, they rape your auntie, they rape your auntie, they rob you of all your jewels, they take your car if you have a license firearm, they take your firearm, and they go on with that. And those that are supposed to vote for this bill, for the next year, you all are pleased and it's okay with that. What are they smoking? You cannot come and tell Saieed, well, hear this now. Saieed, mass mandatory, here we go. It come to an end. And then you come and tell me, here we go on side. If you go to the supermarket, the grocery, or the malls, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you go to a pharmacy, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you're traveling, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the transportation hub, you have to wear your mask. If you're going to church side, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the school side, you're wearing your mask. If you go to a barber salon, you go to the theater, you're wearing your mask. Which dum-dum in Trinidad and Tobago will go in a theater and buy a popcorn and a juice and sit down and wear a mask? Thanks! If every councillor go through their constituency, do video clips like this and send it for us, I'm gonna be so happy just to play it on our program on a Wednesday night. You know why I would be happy? I will be filled with joy in my heart. You know why? Because the councillor is getting off their butts and they are actually going and doing some live video shoots. Real Talk took the initiative to find out suppliers of wheat in the world that National Flour Mill could go to. So now Romano is saying the company is not going to raise any price in the near future. Why? Why? Is it because the S-boss and they realize now that, hey, it is in the public domain that we could go right Mexico and buy flour and wheat? We could go right China and buy wheat? I am about change. And thus far, Real Talk is very effective in Trinidad and Tobago, coming towards making changes for the citizens. Public Utility Minister Marvin Gonzalez have urged the population to appreciate and be grateful for the availability of the utilities. This, as Gonzalez recalled, time in his life when he had to fetch water using a bucket from a nearby river. Gonzalez, I want you to understand something. I want you, Mr. Gonzalez, to understand something. You are being paid thousands of dollars by public utility, by the finance ministry, to govern WASA. Come on. To govern WASA, I want you to understand that you ain't going in no office for no free code. You are being paid. Do not tell me that I, Saieed, have to be grateful for the water I get it. Let me tell you something, Gonzalez. Every 4 months, I have to pay $400 and I get water once a bloody month. So don't come on a media briefing and say, Saieed, you have to be contented. You have to be happy. Marvin, the next best thing for you to do is to resign and get the hell out of here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host, Saeed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, viewers. Remember, we are also live on Facebook and YouTube. Real Talk with Saieed Ali on Facebook. And you can subscribe to YouTube. It's TT Real Talk. Subscribe, hit the bell. You would know when we go live. So, Trinidad and Tobago, it's a pleasure every single night. I come here with great pleasure every single night to educate you, the citizens of our country, Trinidad and Tobago, to edify you, to open your eyes, to let you know about your rights, to let you know the do's and the don'ts, to let you know what the government is doing, to let you know what you're supposed to be doing and demanding from the government. Remember, viewers, it's Public Concerns Night tonight, where we deal with the road, the bridges, the box train, the councillors, the MP not attending to your community, the street slide, we deal with WASA, we deal with all these things on a Wednesday. So remember, viewers, feel free to call in. 238-6716 is the phone line to call in tonight, viewers, to voice your concerns and your opinions on matters that we are discussing. It's 238-6716. So, as we start our program tonight, viewers, a little update. Prime Minister Dr. Saieed Ali have stated that it is uncertain whether the report from the Energy Minister investigation into the death of a Massey energy worker injured at a Naikwan Energy Limited plant can be made public, given that Naikwan is a private legal entity. Asked for the finding of Naikwan's investigation, both 2021 and present, Rowley said it could not be publicized. Listen to this.
Madam Speaker, as has been previously indicated, including by the Minister of Energy and Energy Industries, a number of investigations were done into an incident at Naikwan's plant, which took place in April 2021. The Ministry of Energy and Energy Industries conducted an investigation, as did OSHA. Other investigations were conducted, including by Naikwan. The restart of the plant was only permitted at the completion of the investigations and the implementation of remedial and other works being conducted by Naikwan. The advice received is that the Ministry of Energy's report cannot be made public, as Naikwan is not a public entity. It is a private legal entity, and in the circumstances, the Ministry of Energy and Energy Industries cannot publish its report.
Now, viewers, last Thursday, Massey Energy employee Alan Lane Ramkisoon was injured at the company's gas-to-liquid plant. He suffered burns to about 40% of his body and further injuries when he jumped 10 feet to escape the flames in the room where he was strapped. On Sunday, the company said he died at a specialist burns unit in Colombia. That is where he died. In April 2021, there was an explosion at this plant after its hydrocracker or cracking system failed during an attempt to start up. The company said the incident was a serious equipment failure. MP David Lee asked if any of the findings were linked to the incident resulting in Ramkisoon's death. However, Rowley reiterated that the Energy Minister is investigating the very tragic matter and stated that it is too early to determine the cause of the incident.
Madam Speaker, the recent tragic accident at Nyquan's plant, which took place on June 15, 2023, is to be expected, is now the subject of an investigation by the Ministry of Energy and Energy Resources. The Ministry's investigation team has been established and notification was given earlier today via a release from the Ministry on the composition of the team. It is much too early, Madam Speaker, at this stage for the Ministry to determine what was the root cause of this very tragic incident, and therefore no conclusions can be drawn at this time. Accordingly, Madam Speaker, the premise of this question by my colleague from Pointe-à-Pitre is a bit premature and possibly speculative.
Now, viewers, further questioned if Ramkisoon's family would be able to access the report, Rowley said, "I would wait the nature of the report, but once the circumstances and the legal authorities permit, then the relevant minister would make that comment." Listen to this.
Could I ask you if, when the report is concluded by the Ministry of Energy, at least that the family members of this unfortunate incident would be notified of what caused the death to their loved ones?
Prime Minister.
Madam Speaker, I would await the nature of the report. As I just said, it all depends on what the report is and whose report it is. But once the circumstances and the legal authorities permit, then the relevant minister would make that commitment. I would not presume to make it, as I just said when I was asked about putting Nyquan's report out. So, Madam Speaker, we'll await the outcome.
Now, viewers, Dr. Rowley later added that if it can be made public under specific authorities, then it will be. If it's, on the other hand, a report coming from the company, then of course there are constraints. He reminded the opposition that these are guided by commercials, controls, and legal control. Listen to this.
I was very clear. They're asking me about a report, and I'm saying depending on which report and on the nature of the report, then if it can be made public under the specific authorities, then it will be. If it's, on the other hand, a report coming from the company, then of course we have constraints.
Member for Urpuch is?
Prime Minister, in light of the fact that it is the same company in 2021 and today in 2023, it is the exact company, does it also stand that that report on the investigation on this current issue that occurred just a couple of days ago, that also will not be made public because it's the same company?
Prime Minister.
Madam Speaker, not necessarily so, because if a report is done by the Ministry of Energy and we are advised that the report can be made public without legal complications, then of course it will be made. I am not being as previous as they are. Madam Speaker, these things are guided by commercial controls and legal controls, and that's how we are.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, my question is to you. Do you think that the public has a right to know the information contained in both reports of the recent Nyquan accident? Do you think it should be made public? At the end of the day, it's an accident. Now, despite the death of a worker on its plant by fire burns, Nyquan Energy Trinidad Limited says there was minimal damage to that part of their facility. It said that despite two individual accidents, an explosion and a fatal incident in the space of 2 years, the company sees it followed all health, safety, security, and environmental. Imagine that, eh? They're saying that now, eh? An occupational and safety health administrative standard. Nyquan is a gas to liquid GTL plant located in Heritage compound at Pointe-à-Pied. The company dismissed a question
Incident happened
over
on
whether similar but smaller incidents had taken place at the plant over the years. Responding to questions following the death of Massey Energy Engineered Solution Limited worker Alan Lane Ramkisoon, Naikwan said, "There have been no other small accidents. There has never been and will never be any instance of a cover-up. Naikwan has been fully compliant with its statutory obligation to report under the Occupational Safety and Health Act and all applicable laws and regulations. Naikwan, the Energy Minister, the Occupational and Safety Health Authority, and the agency and the Environmental Management Authority then launches investigation into the blast." So viewers, they are all investigating the matter. OSHA, the Environmental Management Authority, every department you could think of the Ministry of Energy, they are investigating the incidents. So, we are going for a short commercial break, viewers, but when we come back from this break, we're going to start our public concerns tonight after this.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtor Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtor Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com, and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday. Realtor Credit Union information stores are now open to members of the public. We are located at the Realtor Group of Companies building at number 14 Carney Savannah Main Road. Opening hours are from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us via telephone at 238-6716 or 231-6219 to book your appointment. You can also stay connected with us via Facebook.
So remember, viewers, those of you who want to be members of the Realtor Credit Union, you can get in contact with us. Remember that. And remember, here at Real Talk, we also offer you a 4% on fixed deposit. Remember that, viewers, no other place or no other financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago is offering you 4% other than Real Talk. So remember that. Remember that. Remember that. Now, at the end of the year, you have to pay property tax. And you will be looking for extra money. So when you invest with Real Talk, at the annual rate of 4% on your fixed deposit, when you get your return at the end of 12 months, remember, you can use that money to pay your property tax and you wouldn't have to dig deeper into your pocket. So remember that, viewers. Also, I'm a licensed money lender. Invest with us. Invest with us. So if you're looking for a loan borrow and you have property, you have a vehicle, you have gold, make sure this item is not owing on, and we can do business. We can do business. I'm a licensed money lender. Realtor Group have a number of business, local, regional, and international. Remember that, viewers. So it's not like we're sinking anytime soon. Imagine for the last 5 years, I have been running this operation by myself without a sponsored ad. Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. That alone will show you that, wait now, boy, Real Talk stable. We're not shivering, we're not bending, we're not twisting. We're solid as a rock. Why? Why are we solid as a rock? He that dwelleth in the secret place of the Most High shall be covered under the shadows of the Almighty. It gives me great pleasure to say that. So remember, viewers, remember, invest with us today. So as we start off our program tonight, viewers, it's a little after 7:15 tonight. In response to residents of Barapur who threatened to keep up protest until work begin on building a new road, Works and Transport Minister Rohan Sinanan said they are free to do what they like within the law. Hey, this man real bold face, you know. He said, so after residents staged a fiery protest on early mornings yesterday, they placed old tire, tree branches, and other items across Reese Road, GP Road, and St. Cross Road and set fire to them before sunrise. Sinanan stated that when the Ministry of Works and Transport employees went to the community yesterday morning to begin patching the road, residents chased them away. Residents said they do not want the road patched, but paved. The minister said estimates are already in and are in the procurement phase, and added that they will patch the road to ensure the surface improves as they await the major works, which is on a schedule of works. He said road paving is going on around the country and his ministry cannot do it everywhere at the same time. His ministry can't do that, but contractors could. Contractors could. And that is the difference. Caller, good night.
Good night, Saieed. I have been seeing on the social media, sir, that in a recent PNM political broadcast, that members of the TTPS appearing on the campaign trail. And I'm also, I'm seeing again that there's one card put to the Pune area where the TTPS would address the community on the PNM campaign trail, what they intend to do about crime. So this is a blatant disrespect for the Constitution. There is a separate, isn't the TTPS supposed to be, an independent organization?
Correct.
How is it possible then? How can this be possible? Does the Prime Minister and the PM have that stranglehold over the TTPS that they would appear on the political platform, sir? This is gross injustice. And the second point, sir, I saw about a meeting between the Chief Justice and the Prime Minister. You have the executive arm and the judiciary arm. There is a clear separation, sir. How is it that the Prime Minister had the stranglehold again over the judiciary? How is this thing happening? Why is it happening? And then you're calling for we to have, disconnect with the Privy Council, sir? What sort of justice is this? The Attorney General. That is the conjoint with the government and the judiciary. For them to have whatever. It is not the Prime Minister, sir. This is a blatant disrespect for our laws. We saw where the Prime Minister himself went to the President's house and derailed the appointment of Gary Griffith. What is it now? He is talking about abandoning the Service Commission. What is it? If this is not galloping dictatorship, sir, what it is? And it is time. Let the opposition stand up. We cannot continue to do this for this to happen. We all know the whole, people protesting and what have you and what have you. In certain areas, in the opposition areas, they're being locked up. But when they PNM in the Constitution, like in Tobago, nothing is happening, sir. Does that demonstrate, you know, the impartiality of the TTPS, sir? These things are too glaring, sir. Too much is happening. I want to remind the public again, sir. It is this Prime Minister who was telling the population and the public servants that if you do not take the vaccine, you will be followed, you will lose your job. Look how many people died because of that. And you are coming out before this population to tell them you have a plan. What you cannot do in 8 years, go on. You are saying now that you could do that. It is time, let the people come out en masse. And if you do not come out en masse to get rid of this government, then stay quiet and take your property tax and all this operation. Thanks a lot, sir.
Thank you, my friend. Minister of Public Utilities Marvin Gonzalez have stated that areas in South and Central Trinidad affected by the recent flooding continue to have access to water, as no water and sewerage authority WASA plant were affected. Responding to question in Parliament, Opposition MP Devendranath Tanku asked Gonzalez if the ministry tested the potable water supply in these areas to ensure that there was no contamination. Now, Gonzalez stated that WASA does not have the capacity to do water quality testing. A surprise? Don't be. That is why you're getting all type of water in your pipeline. But routine bacterial tests are done regularly. Tanku asked whether residents of these areas have access to water to help clean up. Gonzalez said none of WASA's water treatment plants have been impacted by floods, and areas in Central and South Trinidad continue to get water according to approved schedule.
I wish to advise the member that luckily and fortunately none of WASA's water treatment plants have been impacted by the floods, and therefore areas in Central and South Trinidad continue to get their water in accordance with approved schedules.
Now viewers, in a separate question, Opposition MP Dr. Lakram Bodhi asked Gonzalez when 2 sections of San Fernando to Point Fortin Highway extension will get works or will get working street light. Gonzalez said the section previously had working lights, but there were several incidents of vandalism and theft resulting in sections of the street lighting circuit becomes non-functional. So people started to thief the street light now, according to them. He added that TNTEC Electricity Commission is working with NITCO, the National Infrastructure Development Company Limited, to provide the necessary guidance for full restoration by September. Listen.
The section of the San Fernando to Point Fortin Highway between South Oropouche and Delhi Road Junction was previously energized and fully illuminated with streetlights. Subsequently, there were several incidents of vandalism and theft of cables, resulting in sections of the street lighting circuit becoming non-functional and requiring remedial civil works. The Trinidad and Tobago Electricity Commission is currently working alongside NITCO, providing the necessary guidance for the restoration of the full service, which was anticipated by March 2023, but there is a slight delay to perhaps September 2023. The Ministry of Public Utilities has been advised by TNTEC that the 2 sections of the San Fernando to Point Fortin Highway identified in the question are under construction, and the streetlight installations are currently under the purview of NITCO and AECOM and will be handed over to TNTEC upon completion.
So welcome back to Real Talk, viewers. Remember, we are offering you 4% on fixed deposit. Keep that in mind, Trinidad and Tobago. Are you going to miss out this opportunity of getting 4%? Are you going to miss the opportunity, viewers? 4%, the highest interest rate that is being paid in Trinidad and Tobago presently. Are you going to settle for 0.25 or 0.35 or 1%? Are you going to settle for that? Ask yourself that. Ask yourself that. So we are going for a short commercial break, viewers. But when we come back from this break, we're going to hear about more bad roads in Trinidad and Tobago after this.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtalk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtalk Group of Companies and Licensed Moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Caroni Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com, and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday. Realtalk Credit Union information stores are now open to members of the public. We are located at the Realtalk Group of Companies building at number 14 Caroni Savannah Main Road. Opening hours are from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us via telephone at 238-6716 or 231-6219 to book your appointment. You can also stay connected with us via Facebook.
So welcome back to Real Talk, viewers. Remember, if you want to be a member of Real Talk Credit Union information, you can do so. Could you just pop our numbers, please, Director? You can do so, viewers, by contacting our office from 8:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Remember that if you want to be a member of the credit union information, Real Talk, our numbers are on screen. Call the numbers, set up an appointment at our central office. Remember, we are located at number 14 Caroni Savannah Road in Chaguanas. Remember that, viewers. So, as we continue tonight, viewers, we have a call. Caller, good night.
Hi, good night.
Go right ahead. You're live on Real Talk, my friend.
Good night to you, viewers, and good night, Mr. Saieed.
Good night to you.
I think that the public should be made aware of what are the amounts of insurances energy companies has to place to operate. So, for example, BPTT to operate in the Gulf of Mexico. Their insurances were examined, and not only were they examined by themselves or the people who were doing the inquiry into the leak that they had in the Gulf of Mexico. All the other energy companies began to place the requirement for insurances and how much insurances has to be placed to
That's
operate.
on workers or on the company itself?
There are several insurances has to be placed. One is public liability in case there is a damage to external situation. One is workers' compensation. That is for the workers in case the workers get damaged on the job.
On the job side, yes.
Right. One is contractors all risk in case the work get damaged. So The thing is, we have BPTT operating in Trinidad. BPTT could make a comment on what kind of insurances is required before you tender for work in offshore drilling and operating in the energy sector. And refining is no different. It's the same thing. A certain amount of insurances has to be placed. Now, the problem is, I make this comment, but it is not the government to be blamed, you know. It is two parties to be blamed. The company entering into the agreement to operate, and the personnel in the ministry doing the evaluation. They are supposed to flag it and bring it to the attention of the minister and the government or whoever they're reporting to. And if they don't do it and it is left unattended, when something happens, like what happened when the fella is drowned in the pipeline.
Yes.
There's no money, there's nowhere with a source of funding to take care for loss of life. When this fella died in Naikwan, physical bodily harm, there's no insurances to pay for these things, right? But I will give you an example. I was working in hair soil and in St. Lucia, and this gentleman from St. Lucia was working in Puerto Rico, and he got whiplash with a cable during an operation. And for the whiplash, his compensation was $10 million US.
Wow. For a whiplash from a cable?
For a whiplash, because it was deemed that he will be physically incapacitated for the rest of his life, and the hurt and injury that he suffered. And all this kind of noise and thing that is confidential, and you cannot make it public and whatever and thing.
That's crap then.
None of that arose. Right. So something in the whole system has to be carefully looked at in Trinidad, especially when you're tendering for blocks and so offshore. How much insurances these people are placing? Like we have AV drilling in particular, a concern about it. How much insurances did they place for the operations that they are going to do? Or is it that they don't want to place because the insurance is hundreds of millions of dollars, which is a severe amount of money, and no company locally could carry that amount of insurances. It is normally a local company will normally act as an agent, and it is placed with foreign companies. The problem with placing it with foreign companies is the insurances must be done in a way where it must be a demand call, so that you don't have to run all over the world and take all kind of lawyer and fight all kind of case. And
I understand.
Once you call up on the insurances, it must be a demand call, where the insurances pay. So I just make these comments to sensitize people of what is happening. So the same thing with when the people drown in the pipe. Do they have insurances that is capable of covering the people in the pipe? When this fella died in the pipeline, does Naikwan have insurances that is capable of covering this guy? It is not the government to be blamed, you know. It is the people who are doing the operations. They want to save money, and they want to save money by not paying the premiums.
I understand.
Okay, thank you.
My friend, thank you so much for the information that you have shared with the public. Thank you so much for that. See, viewers, this is why I encourage you, as long as you are listening to Real Talk with Saieed Ali from Monday to Friday on Synergy from 7 to 8 p.m. and there's a rerun the next day from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. Once you have information that you think will be knowledgeable to the public, this is your platform. This is your platform, because you wouldn't go and print it on a press. You wouldn't do that. And this is the ideal program to share your information. Why? Real Talk does educate and edify you. We just make you open your eye and your ears. So, deplorable roads in Trinidad and Tobago. Residents are now stating that only light vehicle can make it through the collapsed section of Todd's Station Road, which link central Trinidad to north. They are calling for some repairs to be done as soon as possible before the road worsen and becomes impassable. Now is the rainy season, viewers. We understand that. So why it is now that the Ministry of Works and Transport cannot fix road during December to May? Why? Look at the condition of the road. Like I said, they would wait for the rainy season to come down on us. Put out projects, tender for it, tens of millions of dollars, and when the rain actually come down and wash away some of the materials, what we're going to do? The government will have to release more money again. Who benefits from this? Who benefits from it? The contractor? Is somebody getting a cut somewhere? I don't know. But why wait for the rainy season? Why wait? Year after year after year, we have been seeing the very same thing. The very same thing. Is anyone in the ministry willing to change this pattern? Is anybody willing to change the pattern? Is there a proper engineer in the Ministry of Works and Transport smart enough with all the degree they have to know that, hey, during the rainy season, you know, we really can't patch the road, or we really can't fix cave land, because you would never meet a deadline, because the weather is always changing. Material will waste. Where are all those smart heads? They're not so smart anymore. Moving along, in the interior of Trinidad, where hundreds live, the landslide along Bon Air Road, which links the village of Hoseen to Guayco Tamana Road, is one of the main left unrepaired for years. Residents are calling for repair to be done. So imagine, viewers, that's on the Guayco Tamana Road, eh? The village of Hoseen. For years, it have left unpaved, unpatched. And look at the condition. They are saying it is getting worse. Who's going to fix it? When you protest, sit down and say, you could protest and do what you want. Really? Really, Mr. Minister? I mean, it is try hard, but don't follow any pattern of the Minister of National Security. Don't do that. Don't stoop that low. Stand up and meet the people. Stand up and talk to the people. Don't use words like, oh, look, protest how much all you want. No, you don't be a minister and go along those lines. You don't do that. Go down and meet the people. You hear a protest down in South? Be a big man, be a minister, be a people's person, and go down. You hear one in Moruga, go down and meet the people. You hear one in Lavantil, go meet the people. Anywhere there's a protest taking place, your job is to go meet the people and some word of comfort. That is your job. Don't do like Heinz. Heinz a bodyguard, Heinz a security, Heinz a business body, normal people. And that is not his job to make them feel safe. It's not his job. I said that maybe the Minister of Health. But it's stinking sad, you know. It's stinking sad. Although they see something real funny. A maxi went down in a sinkhole earlier today at Charlotte Street, just before Park Street on the Pity Valley maxi stand. Look at this.
Measurement. Alright, this is how far it goes. It seems as though like it seems as though like it's sinking more. Alright, we got the maxi out and we're using this tire for measurement. Alright, this is how far it goes. It seems as though like it seems as though like it's sinking more.
Viewers, a sinkhole is down the Pity Valley maxi Stand. Now, rub out the video to the sinkhole and pause it on the sinkhole. So Trinidad and Tobago, look at this.
It seems as though like it.
Look at that. Look at the depth of that sinkhole. And a maxi went down in that. Look at the depth. Now we all know the height of a tire is almost by our knee. Right? Now, it's just the top of the tire showing. It's just the top of the tire showing. Imagine if somebody were walking there and that sinkhole just opened underneath them. Wow. Wow. Now, how long is it going to take? How long is it going to take? Works department now to find out what caused the sinkhole. Is it a pipeline? Is it that a water line? Is it that the earth just shifted? How long is it going to take? That's on the Pity Valley Maxi stand. Caller, good night.
Saeed.
Yes, my friend. Go right ahead. You're live.
This is New York calling.
Well, my friend, good night to you. I'm sure it's night up there, right?
Oh, yeah, but you were talking about rainy season and road work, right?
Yes.
Okay. I drive from New York to Maryland, which is 3.5 hours in rain.
Okay.
And I saw men working on a bridge with a raincoat on, pouring concrete. In the rain, you know. I'm talking about everybody slow down and watching this. Every man jacket on the yellow raincoat and the yellow hat, pouring concrete. Rain or no rain, and people walking.
Is this happening across there? Is this happening across there? They're pouring concrete while the rain falling?
Yeah, it's just a constant drizzle.
Okay, okay.
Drizzle is neither here nor there. So this talk, what I want to tell you, they can't walk in rain. They don't walk across here in America. Rain or no rain, they get the job done.
Well
they have 24 hours to do the job, and they have to do it.
Now, you see, across, they would have the proper equipment.
It was just men with you know, there's squeezy on them.
Yes.
And a concrete truck, empty in concrete. That's all it had.
The job must go on. Now, caller, across there will have the proper equipment, proper measurement to get the job done. Now, remember, that's first class. Right. It has to be tested and passed. Correct?
Oh, yeah. It has something called a compression ratio.
Right.
That the capacity of the concrete, that the amount of pressure it's going to take, it has to is a PSI test then.
Right, right.
Pounds per square inch.
In Trinidad, watchman is at the front thing, you know.
Yeah, I know that.
My friend, thank you so much for calling.
Great.
Thank you so much. In Trinidad is at the front thing, you know. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break. But when we come back from this break, we're going to hear about the Woodland residents ignore ravine repair warning after this.
Do you have a public concern you would like to highlight? You can email your pictures and videos to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com, and we will highlight your concerns on our show for Public Concerns Wednesday. Realtor Credit Union information stores are now open to members of the public. We are located at the Realtor Group of Companies building at number 14 Grooney Savannah Main Road. Opening hours are from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Contact us via telephone at 238-6716 or 231-6219 to book your appointment. You can also stay connected with us via Facebook.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtalk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtalk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
Welcome back to Real Talk, viewers. Now, I must encourage you again, viewers, if you want to be members of Real Talk Credit Union Information, remember, all you have to do is contact our office. Our number will be on screen shortly, viewers. Remember, contact our office, set up an appointment, come meet with us. Also, viewers, Real Talk is also offering you 4% on a fixed deposit. We are the only financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago that is offering you 4%. No other institution in Trinidad and Tobago, you're going to get that. No other. I can guarantee you that. Call your bank and find out. Call your bank. Ask them, hey, here this now. What is your rate on fixed deposit per annum? What taxes do I pay? Call them and ask them. I am challenging you, the citizens of this country, to call them and find out. Because I have been getting some reports from individuals, from their banks. Believe me, all I did was like, wow, you're getting fooled right through. Caller, good night.
Very good evening to Mr. Said.
To you, my friend.
You see, this is why Trinidad and Tobago is in this predicament today, because we don't have quality control personnel who would visit the job site when road is being paved and whatnot to make sure that the taxpayers is getting value for their dollars.
For money, yes.
We don't do it at all. So we're wasting money all over the place. Look, today I was down the highway, and when you look at Petrotrin Compound, there is this big concrete steel structure that is years that is sitting there idle. That is hard currency sitting there, and they have no intention of completing it. We have been mismanaging and wasting too much money in this country. This is why Trinidad is. This is why we're in this position. And I guess they're waiting on a NASA scientist. As soon as the tropical storm ease up and plane can fly, as soon as the NASA scientists get here, he will go and tell Rohan how they should fix that sinkhole. All the best.
Thank you, my friend. Residents in flood-prone communities in Woodland and environs are ignoring a warning from Works and Transport Minister to desist from attempting to repair to the banks of the South Oropouche River. According to community activist Edward Moody, they will continue to do what they have to do to protect their homes and will take legal actions if necessary. Moody, the president of the South Oropouche Ravine Flood Action Group, spoke after he and groups of residents completed the installation of a 50-foot tire barrier along the northeastern bank of the river. He said, while they are working on Monday, 2 workers from the drainage division came on site and told them they had no authorization to build the barriers. He said they identified at least 9 breaches along the riverbank that will cause massive flooding in nearby communities when it rains. He is calling for Works Minister Rohan Sinanan to meet with the residents and tour the river to see the breaches. They also plan to build barriers along the new cut channel. The tender development process for the works is underway, and works will commence following the completion of the procurement process, the release stated. So Trinidad and Tobago, I want to let you understand something here. This ravine floods, wash the community. So while the South Oropouche team, led by Moody, when they did an investigation, when rain falls, and they pinpoint places that excessive water comes down. Excessive water comes down. Now I'm going to tell you something. No supervisor, no manager, no big boy ain't going out in no flood when it rains. And I could guarantee you that in Trinidad and Tobago, it will take a community member. It will take community members. It will take villagers. It will take residents to put on a coat. Maybe not even a coat. But to come out and defend their property while rain is falling and flood is gushing. So why these two individuals who came to tell them that they are doing breaches, why didn't they come when the flood was flooding? Why didn't they come when the rain was pouring? Before you come and you ask the villagers, well, okay, here what? We see what they're doing to try and protect the community. How can we be of assistance? But you come to tell them where they're breaching? So here it is. When flood water hit down there now, and a man had to wait 2 years and 3 years to go check to repair his house. All you're speeding up the check. You see, this is what I don't like. Duncy had people in authority coming to tell villagers how to run the show. You are coming when rain fall. You are coming to see how much appliance is damaged in my house. You are coming to see how much furniture store I own. Because of your lackadaisical attempts to come and assist people in the flooding. You want to come and tell me about the breach? You want to come and tell me I have a breach here, and I have a breach there, and I have a breach there. Why the hell you didn't bring an excavator? Why you didn't walk with a couple truckload of sand and bags and help the residents prevent a flood? All you come to show breach? Meanwhile, the villagers, I get some buckets. Remember when Fitzgerald Hines went up in his constituency, when flood was coming down, and what did I do? I'm going to tell you something. Villagers should have gotten some buckets. And you see, when people like Olio come to tell me about breach, and I soak down Olio with water. They quite telling Olio, me inside violence, you know. But I tell, don't come and tell me about no breach. You are coming to fix one damn thing. Year come and year go, woodland flooding. Woodland flooding. You come to talk about breach now? When all my plants is wash out this year, and I go to a furniture store, and they say, here we go, now if you make this down payment, we go give you that to replace. And you do that now, while paying for that now, water come down and wash out this set now. What are you going to do? You come to tell me about breach, help me pay my damn bill, I win. Help me pay my damn bill. And then tell me about breach. How should I be down there? I soak all your tail with water. Hey, me was moody. I wet up all of us fight. I'm telling you. You want to tell me about breach? Come. Come. Come down in the water with your nice soft pants and your jacket. Come. You come to talk about breach instead of you bring an excavator Instead of you bring something to help the people. Now it's flood time. You all bridge this and all bridge that. Boy, let me tell you something. You just sit down in a car with a soaked clothing. I don't care how much you pay for your suit, you know. I really don't care. You come to tell the people, here they say, Modi, the president of the South Oropouche Ravine Flood Action Group, spoke after he and residents completed the installation of a 50-foot tire barrier along the northeastern bank of the river. Right? He said, while they were working on Monday, 2 workers from the drainage division, drainage, you know, came on site and told them they had no authorization to build a barrier. All they work with a damn excavator, all they work with a bobcat, all they work with a shovel. But you come to tell me I breach. Let me tell you something what should happen, eh? You see incidents like this? You see in front them big boy houses and them, God should just send some lightning and just crack the ground in front of their property. Don't cave down their property, you know. Don't disaster them. Just strike some lightning, let in front of their property crack up. Let some of them catch themselves. You go in a flood-prone area. Go with some ideas. Go with a backup. Go and see what the people doing and ask if they need assistance. We realize all they're trying to prevent the flood from coming in. Is there any way we could assist all here? You going to talk about breach? You going to talk about breach? For God in heaven's sake. All you should be ashamed of all yourself. All stink, boy. All really stink. Residents of Latu Trace Extension in Canopia are calling on the relevant authority to complete the work that have already begun on a bridge that collapsed 2 years ago. So with the drainage now, the drainage team gone down South Oropouche to tell them they're breaching. But a bridge collapsed 2 years now. 2 years now. How come drainage are gone by the bridge? Talk now. How come drainage? Yeah. How come drainage now ain't gone by the bridge? And that ravine passing under the bridge? All they talk now. All they talk now. All they want to play. All they smart. All they duncy head. Where the bridge team now? Where is the bridge team of the Works and Transport Ministry? They going for holidays? Don't make joke. And then all I can say, Saieed talking, 2 years now they're fixing our bridge. And the damn bridge can't unfix. But our drainage team going down, or Oropouche now, to tell Moody and his gang, all in a bridge. How you call that? Working class people? That is duncy head people in Trinidad and Tobago. So viewers, hey, let me tell you something. When you're having fun, time is fly, you know. When facts come and tell you to open your eye, time is fly. But nevertheless, there's a rerun of this program tomorrow from 11:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. right here on Synergy Network. So viewers, until we meet again, ila anta kirkaina zaraulla ba anta. Don't allow people in authority to bully you when you are fixing your community. Until we meet again, good night.